Alright, so I chose this story because my brother, when he moved to Kansas for the first time, he was homeless for a couple weeks, and then he found someone actually drove by and a trucker picked him up and took him to his house. So this is by James A. Michener, and it is, I believe that all men are my brothers. I believe that all men are my brothers. I really believe that every man on this earth is my brother. He has a soul like mine, the ability to understand friendship, and the capacity to create beauty. In all continents of this world, I have met such men. In such savage jungles of New Guinea, I have met my brother. And in Tokyo, I have seen him clearly as he walked before me. In my brother's house, I have lived without fear. Once in the wildest part of Guadalcanal, I had to spend some days with men who still lived through the old Stone Age, but we got along together fine. In the South Pacific, on remote islands, I have sailed and fished with brown men who were in every respect the same as I. Around the world, I have lived with my brothers, and nothing has kept me from knowing men like myself wherever I went. Language has been no barrier. For once in India, I lived for several days with villagers who did not know a word of English. I can't remember exactly how we got along, but the fact that I couldn't speak their language was no hindrance. Differences in social customs never kept me from getting to know and like savage Melanesians and New Hebrides. They ate roast dog, and I ate army spam. And if we ever wanted to emphasize differences, I am sure that we each could have concluded that the other was nuts. But we stressed similarities, and so long as I could snatch a Navy blanket for them now and then, we had a fine old time with no words spoken. It was in these islands that I met a beat-up, shameless old Toicanese woman. She would buy or sell anything. And in time we became fast friends, and I used to sit with her, knowing not a word of her curious language, and we talked for hours. She knew only a half a dozen of the vilest English obscenities. But she had the most extraordinary love of human beings and the most infectious sense of the words crazy comedy. She was of my blood, and I wish I could see her now. I believe that it was the only fortunate experience that enabled me to travel along among my brothers and live with them. Therefore, I do not believe it is such my duty to preach to other people and insist that they also accept all men as their true and immediate brothers. These things come slow. Sometimes it takes lucky breaks to open our eyes. For example, if I had never known this wonderful old Toicanese woman, I might not now think of all Chinese as my brothers. I had to learn, and as I believe, the world will one day learn. Until such time, an experience provides to all of us the essential brotherhood of man. I am not going to preach or scream or rant. But if I am tolerant of other people's prejudices, I must insist that they become tolerant of me. To my home in rural Pennsylvania come brown men and yellow men, and black men from around the world. In their countries I lived and ate with them. In my country they shall live and eat with me. Until the day I die, my home must be free to receive these travelers, and it never seems so big a home or so much a place of love, and when some man from India or Japan or Mexico or Tahiti or Fiji shares it with me. For on those happy days, it reminds me of the wonderful affection I have known throughout the world. I believe that all men are my brothers. I know it when I see them sharing my home. So, if we could all put aside our differences and just welcome each other and care for each other, I think the world would definitely be a lot better place.